Okay, so I'm going to pick up from where we left off. So these are here some main examples of fixed costs and variable costs, as you can see. So the main examples, like the more, let's say, classic examples that normally business textbooks write down as classed as fixed costs are rent, loan repayments, insurance, advertising, salaries, utilities, and software and IT services. Remember, salaries and utilities, I mean, even I would say, even the word income really, I would say is always classed as fixed cost in our specification. So you don't have to worry too much about wages. Variable costs, on the other hand, are examples of variable costs are raw materials, components, stock, and packaging. Now, you probably know what stock goods are, but I'm just going to make a quick definition. I'm going to give you a quick definition of it. So stock goods are goods and merchandise kept in a shop or in a warehouse. So it's basically all the stuff that shops keep that then they will sell. So if there's like a business selling stationery, they will have all the pencils and all the felt tip pens and all the rulers in a warehouse, and that material there, all that stuff that they are going to sell counts as stock. Okay, so key formulae for calculating our costs. So the first one is the formulae to find total fixed costs, and you find the total fixed costs by calculating the sum of all fixed costs added together. Very intuitively. For all the people that like maths, this is going to be quite simple maths. So for now, it's going to get more complicated, but we're going to start with the very basics. Total variable costs are calculated by finding the quantity sold times the variable costs per unit, as we saw earlier. And of course, the total costs will be found by adding the total fixed costs and the total variable costs together. Okay, so an example here that you can have a look at. If my variable cost per chicken and chips meal is £1 and I sell 20 of them, then my total variable cost will be £1 times 20, obviously will be £20. If my fixed costs are £200 per day, then my total costs per day are £200 plus that £20 that I made for my variable cost, and therefore my total cost is going to be £220. Okay, so very simple start to this topic, but it's still important to know very well how to class these three really different types of costs, because we've got three. We've got fixed costs, variable costs, and total costs. Now here is just a slide that I'd like to have a look at. I'd love it if you could stop this as well and reflect on what you think could potentially be the words that we put in the in these gaps here that I've made. So it would be amazing if you could actually stop this and write in your books these sentences down, or even just a term that you would put in there. So if you could stop now, please. Well, I'm going to assume that you did that. Yeah. So if a business has high fixed costs, it must sell a high number of products or services to cover these fixed costs. For example, if a business is moving to a larger factory, then it must make sure that it can sell an increased number of products to cover those higher fixed costs. If not, then profit will fall. Variable costs need to be considered. If they increase, the business could decide to A. Accept the price increase and look for savings elsewhere in variable costs. B. Look to buy from a different supplier, though they need to check on the quality or reliability. And 3, negotiate with the present supplier on a reduction in price. So these decisions here about costs are just examples that you could potentially use in your future write-ups as to how, well, really the costs that you get from a business will determine quite a lot of decision making. That is quite intuitive, but it's still quite nice to have some kind of examples of these decisions here. Okay, now we're literally concluding our lesson for today. Again, I think it would have taken us 2 whole periods if we were in class, but because that is not the case. It's all, everything is getting really quick because everything is condensed in these small little videos. But for Friday, what I'd like you to do is this task here. That is, to be honest, quite simple. I'm going to then post the solutions on Friday and we can have a look at them then. But it is so easy. I mean, honestly, the people that love maths, you know, it's going to be quite simple, but I still think you should do all of the questions because it's just good practice. I mean, you will really remember and you'll start thinking about these concepts a lot better if you're actually practicing and having a look at these real life scenarios. Okay, so please do these questions here for Friday and then we'll have a look at them together very briefly on Friday, and I might even just post the slides. So let me know if you're struggling with these. And yeah, so you have to do revenue, total costs, and profit. So this whole page. Okay, so I'm going to post it now. I hope that this is all clear and I hope that you're all managing to access this, but it looks like you are, so that's really good. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and I hope that you are absolutely being as productive as you're in business with your other subjects, and that you are taking care of yourselves, doing a bit of exercise every now and then, and yeah, hope that you're fine. Right, so I'll speak to you on Friday, and please do the task by then. I'm going to start thinking about asking you to upload pictures and send them to me via email. I mean, we're not going to do that yet because I trust that you're doing the work, but I do have to say I'm not entirely sure that all of you are, so I need to make sure that you are. At some point I'm going to ask you to have a look at, well, to send me your work basically. Okay, have a nice day girls, and speak soon. Bye.